No
Pez.
need to stress. We have the couch for you with Dr. Pez.
Dr. Pez. I've got some problems, man. It's been bugging me all day, and only you can help me. I've got some burning questions that I need help with. We're at the end of week 7, beginning into the second half of the season next week, week 8. And I see all these breakout players doing great stuff this year. But then I see some players that are not performing at all that should be. Could you tell me, Dr. Pez, what players should I be selling high and buying low?
So I think the way I look at it, because it's so hard this year, we were talking about it before we came on the show, it's so hard because the players that are playing well at this point of the year, you don't really want to sell. Like, there's nothing, unless you're talking dynasty, but there's no real point us getting deep into the weeds of dynasty. If you're talking about redraft, it does become team specific. If you wanted to maybe strengthen your running back, wide receiver position, and you have a decent quarterback. But at the moment, so it's like Mahomes. I'll go position by position. I think that's how I personally process looking at buy high, sell low. So like your top end guys are Mahomes, Dak, Jalen Hurts, Drake May, and Justin Herbert. They're your top 5. Now, you look at Justin Herbert's numbers, so you go from the bottom guy who you might think, all right, I don't mind losing a Justin Herbert. But you look at his numbers, so you go to someone to try and trade, and it's like his first week with 27.9 points, last night with 30 points, everything else is in the teens. If I came to you with that, you look at that and go, well, what do you want for him? Well, I want one of your top wide receivers because that's going to strengthen that. And you're like, well, no, I'm not going to fucking do that, am I? So I think this season has been so weird with the top end guys. It's almost like you don't want to lose them top end guys because they are guys who've shown they've done it every single year. So it's like sell high to just detriment your own team at this moment in time. Like I just quickly run down the running backs. Christian McCaffrey, he is the Niners offense.
Yes.
So, like to me, I'm not trading him. Jonathan Taylor is the heart of that offense. I'm not trading him. Bijan's playing out of his mind. You're not doing that. Achane, you're not doing that. So then you come to the 5th guy, Javonte Williams. And this was tying to something I was talking to you about, what I said I'd leave, what I bring up now. So you look at Javonte Williams and you think, he's done all right numbers. Would I be able to say get a quarterback? Maybe could I do if I needed a quarterback and I just have a garbage quarterback? Could I maybe use a Javonte Williams to get a Herbert?
So what about a player such as, well, since we're doing the buy high, right? So I'll ask that. So, when you look at the tight ends, you're looking at tight ends like Dallas Goedert. He's in the top 5. Is it the time to sell him now with that Philadelphia offense? Or do you want to keep him? Is he going to continue producing at this level?
So the whole one is with him is because he has like a big week, like a 26-pointer, that's when you sell him. But now we're talking this week, he's just got 4.8 fantasy points. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. The points this year are just so difficult. Like Tyler Warren. Are you going to trade off Tyler Warren with everything he's doing right now? What are you realistically?
He's the 3rd highest tight end right now, right?
Exactly. And so you say buy low, you're kind of looking at the big names because I can't think of any. You might be able to chuck some names out to me, but I can't think of any, buy low rookies or wide receivers or running backs
Right.
that are even showing, any
Fine.
resemblance of doing that. It's like everyone went Woody Marks after that big game because he looked like Joe Mixon. And you're like, fuck, he's going to get all the work. It's amazing. Next game, he wasn't seen.
Hmm.
British Brooks took over him. Like,
But I do have a name for you.
go on then.
Brock Bowers. How long do you have to scroll to get to his name in the tight end leaders? 70 points this season. Is he someone you try and buy for the second half, or is this going to be a wasted year for him? Geno Smith is looking like the New York Jets Geno Smith, not the Seattle Geno Smith. Pete Carroll has that offense looking like, putrid.
Like a
What they
Seahawks offense.
Gardner Minshew is going to be the backup? I mean, is Brock Bowers toast for this year? Yeah. Johnny mentioned Dyke.
Yeah. I'll get on to Dyke. Because he put 16.9 fantasy points up. He had a good game.
Yes, he did yesterday.
Just to finish the Bowers thing, and then we'll move on to Dykes. I was always dubious. I was always concerned for Bowers because of Pete and the way he likes to do things. But before Bowers got injured, he was the focal point of that offense. So, in a sense, he does fall into the category of buy high, buy low because of his injuries. If you have the team to be able to do that, you 100% do. The only issue with that is he put what he put up last year, and whoever's got Brock Bowers is going to sit on that and go, but when he comes back, and it's like, so he then doesn't become a buy low, he then falls into the category of a buy high. But he is a good name. If you're in a league with someone who's struggling because they sold the bank for Bowers early, you could go and give them wide receiver 2, RB2, a tight end 2, and probably maybe prize him away from him. But other than that, like, I don't think he would, for me, fall into the category of a buy low.
Would you try to sell him if he was on your team?
What was that? Sorry.
Would you try to sell him if he was on your team? Knowing about Pete Carroll, as long as you have, you and I remember I mentioned this in the preseason. Seattle had some big name tight ends. Jimmy Graham, right? 100 receptions in New Orleans. He gets to Seattle and he barely gets 50 every year that he was there. Pete Carroll's offense just does not utilize the tight end position like other clubs do. So I was, same as you, to use your word, dubious about Brock Bowers this year. And I kept saying McBride is going to be the tight end you want.
Honestly, so looking at the schedule now, they're on the bye. They've got the Jags after the bye. So if he's back, he might have a good game against the Jags. Then he's got Denver. Then he's got Dallas. So if I was a Brock Bowers owner, I would be praying he has a massive game against the Jags and then trade block. I'd be selling him. So if anyone watches this and thinks, oh yeah, I've got Brock Bowers, oh yeah, it's the Jags game or the Dallas game. Target them games. Hope he hits the 18 plus, really 20 plus, because if he gets into the 20s, you sell that fucker high. Because after that, it gets ugly. Browns, Chargers, Broncos, Eagles, Texans, Giants, and that's all in the playoffs. That equals, with the way Geno's been playing, that equals Brock Bowers could knock you out of the playoffs. So if anyone sees this, the Jags game after the bye, or the Dallas game week 11, and then you sell that guy for as much as you possibly could get your hands on and just move on.
I think I tend to agree with you. Of course, I don't have many Rock Bowers shares. So Johnny has another question for you. Should the Bananas trade for a running back? And if so, who? I don't know who the Bananas are.
The Chargers. The Chargers. I'll just quickly, before we just move on, a couple of buy lows that have just come to my mind because I saw he mentioned the Chargers. Dyke, you can't do it. The Titans, no one knows. Like the head coach, like all these rookies were getting like Gunnar Helm, who I think is going to be a great tight end in the league. He was getting multiple receptions. Dyke was getting multiple receptions. That's going to flip flop week to week. Like if Ridley comes back, Dyke is a non-factor. You know what I mean? Everyone went for Iron Manor because Ridley was out, and Iron Manor had a great catch at the start, and then did fuck all for the rest of the game. You know, he's not even worth the buy low.
Yeah.
Well, for me, Titans. Yeah, you can't ban a Titans player as a buy low. They're a waiver wire pickup essentially. They're a week to week until you see some consistency. Like so, if Dyke goes off again next week, then it's like, all right, then I'll start paying attention to him. I might chuck a little like bit of fab down on him, nothing crazy, and let's see what he comes from that. Also, I've liked him since the draft, but the rookie tight end for the Chargers had a big game yesterday. He had like 100 odd yards. That was probably game script with the way that game went. Justin Herbert threw for 400 plus yards, and the tight end got what's his name? Gradston, is it?
Gadsden?
No. Gadsden. Gadsden. Yeah. Gadsden, you were right. So he comes into the buy low category for me because he's on everyone's waivers pretty much. But week 6, week 7, 8 targets, 9 targets, 7 receptions, 68 yards, and then he got 164 yards with a touchdown.
Sorry about that.
So it's all right. So for a tight end, he's an interesting person to monitor in the rookies. And then to go on to Johnny's question about the running backs, the only running back I think out there at the moment, you've got to kind of go bottom feeding in the teams. And I've got that many tabs open on this. So what? Let's have a look. You've got the Saints, Alvin Kamara. He's already said he doesn't want to leave.
He said, he's higher before.
You've got the Cardinals. They don't have any running backs. The Commanders aren't going to sell. The Vikings aren't going to sell. The Falcons definitely aren't going to sell. You're too high by that point to even grab any worthy running back you look at. So the one that stands out is Breece Hall, or a dark horse out of the left field is Tony Pollard or Tyrone Spears for the Titans. They're not going to go the Dolphins because they're not going to pay as much as it's going to cost for Achane. I'd be very surprised if that's something they'll do. The Ravens aren't going to sell Derrick Henry. Genty ain't going nowhere. Texans, Browns, like that's it. Your pool is tiny. You're talking Breece Hall and then some out of left field, Tony Pollard or Spears for the Titans.
I can see Miami selling Achane. I mean, that wouldn't be out of the ordinary for Miami.
It's more how much is he going to cost? Because you've got to think his trade value goes up because he's still on his rookie contract. So the Dolphins will go, well, we won a first and 2 early day 2 picks because he's still on the rookie deal for a couple more years. You know what I mean? So I think they'll just outvalue him to all these teams.
Probably.
Unless the Chargers want to go ultra aggressive, because if he gets on the Chargers team, then the whole dynamic of that team changes.
Really. And then I don't know if they would want someone like A-Chain. What happens when Hampton comes back? He was showing a lot of promise. So then you're going to have Hampton and A-Chain, and then they're going to be fighting matches.
And Breece Hall, I think at this point in his career, Breece Hall wouldn't actually cost you as much as you think Breece Hall will cost. And the Jets are the prime team to just kind of burn the house down and start again.
Yeah.
Another thing on this buy high, sell high, buy low situation is, we were talking about it before. Let me get, I can't remember where I saw it. Let me get it up here. If you want, for me, if you want to buy low on some players, it's the Cowboys offense, because I just think they've got a run of games where against Denver, and Denver haven't really been impressing me at all. Arizona, they can have points. They go on a bye, but then they play the Rams, the Eagles, who are exposed. And I just think there's loads of points to be had for like that offense, because they're always going to be in shootouts until they get the defense sorted out. So I'd look at Cowboys players personally myself, if you're in the market for players.
Yeah. All right. So, Dr. Pez, that was a good rundown on some players there. I think some helpful advice, especially with Pollard and Spears possibly getting traded, and some insight on Bowers on what to do. All right, Johnny, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you, Dr. Pez.
1 second. Before we leave, something we can start doing just NFL-wise is, I mentioned it last week, and it happened, is a bit like a fraud alert on some of these, top-end teams.
Okay. So who's your fraud alert this week?
Chargers, because in the first half they were down 20 points.
Okay.
Then they went on a run. Well, they didn't. They were down 20 points. And then the third quarter, it was 15-14. The Colts still won that quarter. It's just like, it's not good. It's not good. Everyone cheeses over them every single year.
The Super Bowl every year, man.
They are who they are. They luckily beat the Dolphins, but people see win and take no context out of it. They've been doing it for weeks now. They went back-to-back losses, Giants, Commanders, scraped the bones of the Dolphins, and then lost again by 14 points. Like, they were lucky to win that Dolphins game. That should be 4 losses in a row, but no one's talking about it because they win. Oh, it's the Chargers, it's Harbaugh. Oh, they're going to be there at the end. Oh, no, they're not. And a team higher than them, who is coming on my radar a lot more, who I'm watching a lot more closely, is the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. Well, they were my division pick, if you remember.
So, week 1, beat the Titans by 8 points. Okay. Then lost back-to-back games. Then they smoked the Bengals. That's fine. Jake Browning, whatever. Then they scraped by the Eagles in a close, tight game.
Hey, that's the Eagles, man. Defending Super Bowl champion.
By the Jets by 2 points.
Yeah.
And then they had to go on an almighty run with a few injuries that fell their way to beat the Giants by a point. That's why the Cowboys
this year to find his magic of the second half of last year, but it's getting there. What I am actually surprised about with the Broncos is their defense. I mean, there's sacks they're on pace to lead the NFL history in sacks in one season. But they just keep giving up 30-plus points every week. I don't get it. That's supposed to be the best defense in the NFL, and they just keep getting trounced by lesser teams.
See? Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
They
know
missed
that
2
either.
extra points. So,
Wow.
So the Broncos lost it, but because they won and they came back in the fourth quarter, and it's like, oh, look what Bo Nix did, and all the media will start wanking them off, and it's like, them 2 teams are massively on my fraud alert.
Well, I know you love Sean Payton, so I know how hard it is for you to call him a fraud.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
A team,
yeah,
here's one for you for the future. Don't want to stay much more on this. For the future, next week maybe we'll see how they do with the Ravens if Lamar's back. But we might need to speak about the Bears in a bit more of a serious light.
yeah, maybe.
Because they're 1-4 on the bounce.
He's not putting up, big superstar numbers, but he's not throwing the game away either. So, yeah.
He's playing a bit more team than a bit more hero.
Yeah. Which, that's okay, right? Get some confidence, learn how to read the defense better, and mature into the role. That's nothing wrong with that. He's got a good head coach to lead him with Johnson.
Yeah.